Some people try to tell me that transgenderism is too political and has nothing to do with health. Well, I think we can all agree that those people have their heads up their asses for many reasons. Regardless of how you try to analyze it, gender affirming therapy can cause major damage to someone's mental health, emotional health, and most important, their physical health. As I indicated earlier, many states have already improperly implemented gender affirming care, including California, Colorado, Minnesota, Maryland, Illinois, and Alaska. You guys see the trends with the political parties? Now, let's talk about the states which have banned gender affirming therapy, including Florida, Texas, Missouri, Mississippi, Arkansas, Idaho, Kentucky, Nebraska, Ohio, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Arizona. Oh, thank God these states are thinking the right way. Can you guys see the trends with the political parties? Now, here's another thing to note. Tampon Tim Walz even tried to push gender affirming therapy and surgeries for minors as early as 12 years old without parental consent in 2023. Hopefully that can wake you up a little bit. Now, let's talk about some of the risks. Some of the risks, because there's plenty of risk. In a 2022 article in the Journal of Metabolism Open, the authors concluded that transgender women taking gender-affirming hormonal therapy have increased risk of stroke. Let's take a look at another article. In a 2023 article in the Journal of Circulation Reports, the authors concluded that there is no evidence to guarantee long-term safety for gender-affirming hormonal therapy. And they also concluded that estrogen administration likely increased the risk for CVE, which is also known as cerebral vascular event in transgender women. Now, let's talk about the skeletal or the bone health. In a 2022 article in the Journal of Endocrine Connections, the authors reviewed a heavy amount of published data on bone development in transgender adolescents, and they stated as follows. Results consistently indicate a negative impact of long-term puberty suppression on bone mineral density, especially at the lumbar spine. They also indicated that trans girls are more vulnerable than trans boys for compromised bone health. Let's talk about a bigger and more obvious issue, mental health. In a 2017 article in the Journal of Violence and Gender, the authors admitted that transgender individuals are at an increased risk for suicide relative to non-transgender people. They also quoted a study in Sweden which showed that transgender individuals undergoing gender-affirming surgery were at 19 times greater risk for dying for suicide than the general population. Let's talk about another article. In a 2023 article in the Journal of Annals General Psychiatry, the authors concluded that the prevalence of suicide attempts in transgender community was high, and more importantly, about 50% of the transgenders who had suicidal thoughts actually committed suicide. Folks, this is a big wake-up call. They try to refer to transgenderism as a gender identity disorder. I'm going to make it a lot simpler for you, and I'm not going to filter this. Transgenderism is a clear mental illness. I am not going to buffer this out. I'm going to be proud to state this openly for everybody to open up their eyes. I do not believe transgender people are evil or sinister. I believe they're just severely mentally ill. But when they try to push this on our younger generation and forcing their stupid agenda, which is ruining our children's health, that is when it becomes sinister. And that is why we need more people to step up and speak out against this nonsense. So folks, we not only need to focus on the care for our nation's health as a whole, we especially need to care for our children's health for the future. So folks, eat meat, train hard, let's make America great and healthy again.